the health service is at breaking point. Imam Hussein Charity aims to help provide a better future for these impoverished patients, aiding them with finances for their prescriptions as well as dialysis of their kidneys. You can help our brothers and sisters with purchases of prescriptions for just £20, and for £200 help a patient with a dialysis procedure. To donate or for more information, visit www.imamhusseincharity.com.
More than 3,000 members of the Shia Hazara community have been killed since September 2011, according to reports.
Hundreds of Iraqi pilgrims arrive at the house of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi.
On Saturday, the Saudi authorities executed 21 people on other charges.
Taliban abusing humanitarian aid in Afghanistan.
Shia Rights Watch expresses its condemnation on the targeted bombings in the Iraqi capital Baghdad.
There is so much happening that now is the right moment to bring together the biggest stories in one place at one time. It's ambitious, it's a first for the Shia around the world. Join me, Ayoub Nueno, for Shia Waves, live only on Imam Hussein TV free.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh, and welcome to Ahkam SOS, the show that discusses Islamic duties and practices. Now, this is a live show. We do take in all of your questions, so if you have any question you'd like to ask on any topic whatsoever, please send it in via the WhatsApp. The WhatsApp number should be there on the bottom. There should be a QR code there in the corner. If you're watching on Facebook Live or on YouTube, you can put your questions in the comment section, and my technical team will send them to me. Or if you're feeling brave and you'd like to give us a call, 0203 515 0199 to call into the studio. If not, if you're outside the UK, then just call the WhatsApp number, should be there below, and you'll be able to get through to us. I'm your host, Mohsin Shah, and joining me is Sheikh Ali Ma'ar. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
How are you doing this evening, Sheikh?
Alhamdulillah, fine.
MashaAllah,
as usual.
MashaAllah. Sheikh, now before we begin our discussions, questions are already coming in from YouTube. Thank you to all the viewers. Keep them coming, because we are going to be answering them. Any advice or hadith or something you can give the viewers before we begin?
Inshallah. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين. In one of the hadith from the book of Al-Amali lil Sheikh al-Tusi rahimahullah, by the authority Imam Ali alayhi salam, he states that من أصبح والآخرة همه, the one who his attention or his concern is only akhirah. In other words, he would think or she would think about the hereafter. That's your concern. It's to do with my daily worships, acts. I have to observe myself, make sure that I don't commit sin, try to implement all the objectives and wajib acts, make sure that I don't miss anything. So the one who thinks about the akhirah, the hereafter, استغنى بغير mal. He would be enriched without wealth. In other words, one would not really think about that I need to make this much amount of money to be able to build my future and so forth.
Yes.
He would, of course, one should go for work and seek knowledge, seek wealth for the purpose of living. You need to buy, you need to spend, you need to have to feed your family. It's wajib. The nafaqah is wajib on the husband towards his wife and kids. But it wouldn't be a big concern that I need to buy a house now and then I need to buy a house for my offspring and then I have to invest. The concern is mainly for the akhirah. By keeping the the needs of the dunya, the needs, not the wants, not the luxury or the desires, the needs for the dunya, he would feel enriched without having much wealth. واستأنس بغير أهل, and he would enjoy himself in this world without having so much friends and family. He can live by himself, and we see the story of the ulama who lived by themselves many years, and they wrote books, and they lived happily at the end of the day, and they passed away without having so much friends going out and so forth, because their concern was akhirah and not dunya. وعز بغير عشيرة, and he would have the honor without having the tribes or the clans, because you have the concern of the akhirah. In your mind is Allah and the Holy Quran and the Holy Prophet and his pure family. That's your concern. So you don't need to be backed by your clans or family members or the tribe. So one should try to, even if you are in a good position, a good pay, business, whatever, make sure that you build for your akhirah and the hereafter and the akhirah as well. So send your, in other words, your rewards from now. By paying charity, participating in the majalis, in let's say establishing mosque centers and so forth.
Inshallah. Just a quick reminder to all our viewers that this is a live show. We do take in your questions. If you have any question whatsoever on any topic, it could be on food, it could be on traveling, it could be on current affairs, it could be on prisons, whatever question you have, send it in via the WhatsApp numbers there, the QR code should be there in the corner, or if you're watching on Facebook Live or YouTube, just put your questions in the comment section and the technical team will send them to me. And we're going to begin, Sheikh, now with YouTube. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh and Sayyid. Alaikum salam. Is it haram to have a friend who is the opposite gender, but we don't touch each other and we talk respectfully?
The Holy Quran states with this regard, and I mentioned this many times, that states, subhanahu wa ta'ala, in his holy book, وَلَا مُتَّخِذِي أَخْدَانٍ, and do not consider friends from the opposite gender. Unless one turns into halal relationship by the nikah contract, be it a long or a short term. So you must have this nikah contract so you can basically be in this relationship. Otherwise, it's going to be a problem.
Fair enough. Another question from YouTube. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh and Sayyid. If someone lied and swears, do they have to fast for 3 days?
I mean, lying or swearing, if they mean qasam, then you have to make sure that you've done it through shari'i way, by saying billahi, tallahi, and wallahi, for example. Or if the swear means bad language or lying, I mean, one should say istighfar if it's the case.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Is a woman's voice aura, and in what circumstances can it be used in public among non-mahram? For example, in protests and rallies.
Unless the tone of the voice changes, so it becomes soft, then it becomes haram. So it depends on how she softens her voice.
With regards to Sayyidah Fatima Zahra, assalamu alaikum, when she went into the court, obviously she spoke out in public.
Yes.
What were the hijab and parda, or what was done in order for her to speak out in public?
I mean, initially she came out with her women.
Okay, so a group came together.
Surrounding her. She was with full hijab, head to toe.
Okay.
Face covered, everything's covered. And when they went to the mosque, she ordered for the curtain to be
drawn up
and she spoke behind the curtain.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, wow. So there is a hijab for
definitely
those who want to actually speak out in public as well.
Definitely.
Fair. From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Which Imam had the longest imama? I cannot find a solid answer through various resources. Imam Jawad had the shortest, which I believe he was poisoned at the age of 25. But which Imam had the longest reign, you could say?
I can't exactly remember because we have Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, who lived around in the 60s.
Yeah. So did Imam Hussein, I think he was, what, 63?
57, roughly.
Okay.
Yeah, that much.
Okay.
So
fair enough.
I don't exactly know.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Can a female meet a non-mahram for marriage alone or does a mahram have to accompany them? Sheikh, this is actually a very good question. A lot of people, those who are looking to get married and so forth, they will, approach the families or whatever, and then they'll say, let the boy and girl get to know one another. They may exchange phone numbers. They may meet up a couple of times. Coffee, dinner, something like that. Is this acceptable? Is this allowed? Or should a mahram be present as well?
What is forbidden, number one, is to be in seclusion, in a closed doors. So let's say they would meet in someone's, let's say, flat. So they got the keys and they lock up the place.
Okay.
That's forbidden.
Okay.
So they have to be in some
Public.
kind of public place, even in let's
Coffee
say,
shop,
in
park.
daughter's, let's say, the girl's room, house, for example,
Okay.
with the parents there, brothers there, for
Living
example.
room, okay.
Somewhere in public. And then they should, number two, avoid any kind of temptations or lustful or romantic exchange of words and even looking. So it has to be professional for the purpose of marriage. Yes, they can see and talk to each other.
Fair. I think this is from YouTube as well. If I want to do mut'ah with a girl, do I have to ask permission for the marriage from her father?
With regards to the marriage in overall, in terms of marriage, if the girl is virgin, there must be permission from the father for the purpose of marriage, be it short or long term. The consent of the father or the father of the father is required in this case because she's virgin.
Fair. Is it halal to smoke marijuana if I feel that it helps me health-wise and it doesn't affect my mental state?
Scholars say that drugs is not permissible to be consumed at all.
I mean, Sheikh, for those who want to discuss marijuana and its healing properties and if it's good for you, you can get like oil, you can get sweets, you can get medicinal off-the-shelf with cannabis extracts, and you don't get high off it or anything. So you can have the benefits of the medicine as well as you're not getting intoxicated or high at all. So there's no need for you to smoke marijuana. From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. Sunnis believe that the Quran is eternal due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's attribute being eternal. What about Isa alayhi salam, kalimatullah? Doesn't this create a contradiction for them?
Eternal means it's going to remain forever.
So the Shia, they believe, I think it's, the Shia, we believe that the Quran is a creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whereas I think it was the Asharites believe that the Quran is eternal like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because it's from Allah.
The problem is if you believe that the Quran was eternal, I mean, qadim as they say, old, like Allah Azza wa Jalla, then you have two deities. You have two ilah, na'udhu billah. One is Allah Azza wa Jal, who is eternal, qadim, and you have the Quran. So everything, except Allah Azza wa Jal is created. Laysa kamithlihi shay. Nothing is like Allah Azza wa Jal. Even the Quran, the words of the Quran were created in the Quran. ذكر من ربك محدث. ذكر محدث. It's in the Quran that Allah's words were created when He said Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Iqra bismi Rabb. These are created and sent by Jibreel alayhi salam, revealed on Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
So the question is, Sheikh, now, the Quran, you're saying, are the words of Allah. Now, are these the words of Allah that this is Allah communicating to us? Is He speaking? Or is it that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created the Quran like an author creates a book and writes and so forth?
Anyhow, it's Allah's creation. ذكر محدث, as the Quran says. He created these words. Now, how it was done, this is ilm al-ghayb. We don't know exactly how it was done.
Fair.
Yeah.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. How can someone upgrade his rank from a Muslim to a mu'min? Jazakallah khairun.
Yes, if you're a Muslim and you have the wilayah of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, you believe in the 12 Imams of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, you believe that your Imam or the Khalifa after Rasulullah is Ali alayhi salam, as he was appointed on the day of Ghadir, then you are Muslim and Mu'min as well, both, inshallah.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna.
Salam.
If I don't know Arabic, can I pray in my own language while reading the Quran in Arabic or no?
The prayers should be prayed in Arabic, you know, the Surah Al-Hamd. So this is a must. So one should learn gradually to be able to recite.
Is it okay for me to have the Arabic on a piece of paper and I can read from it, or my phone and I can read from it? Because I'm still trying to get used to reciting and memorizing the words.
It should be fine, yeah.
Fair. From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Is it permissible to force my wife to observe hijab? If she isn't willing to do, the accountability falls on the husband for the sin of not observing hijab.
The Holy Quran states, وَعَاشِرُهُنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ, and deal with them in a good way. Try to use the akhlaq, try to use all types of encouragements, attract them towards the true Islamic teachings, from akhlaq, from the wajib acts, from the forbidden acts. Use all the means in which, you know, the Quran states about the Holy Prophet, you know, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. Allah sent the Prophet as a mercy to the world. So you do your job, nahi an munkar, and invite them towards, you know, the good acts and wajib acts, and Allah Azza wa Jalla would inshallah support you.
From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna.
Assalam.
Ya Mehdi, Ajwar Sharif, my dad, he says, Qibla, can we recite Dua Tawassul in Qanut in last rak'ah of Namaz al-Shab?
To mention the names of the Imams in this way, Ya مثلا Ya Hassan ibn Ali, you cannot mention these names in the Salah. That's the problem. Only Allah's names, of course. The exception is the Tashahhud, Assalamu alayka ayyuhan Nabi. That's the exception. Other than that, you can't mention Ya Ali or other names of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam.
From YouTube, what is the best way to get over an addiction? You're going to really need to see a therapist or a doctor if you've got an addiction, and a psychologist actually, to overcome addiction. But Sheikhna, for those who are addicted to sin, let's say, any dua, anything they can recite, any advice you can give to anyone that wants to drop a haram habit?
I think if they attend the majalis of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam and listen to the lectures of the Mawlanas or the lecturers, attend the nights of ad'iyah, like the night of Thursday and Friday morning, dua nudba and others, that should gradually, prevent them from committing the sins of, as they do every day, for example.
From YouTube, how do we know what type of animals and birds are permissible to eat?
There are details
Some
in the
rules,
fiqh.
yeah.
Yes, you have to go back to the fiqh books.
One I know is that all the animals that we eat are herbivores or vegetarians. They're not predators.
Yes.
They are the prey.
Like eagle.
Yeah,
and
we
others,
don't eat eagle,
Yeah.
shark,
Exactly.
lions and cheetahs and so forth.
Or the bird that flaps, for example.
Oh, when it flies.
Flapping.
Yeah, the flapping bird when it flies.
Exactly,
The ones that glide.
One of the
Another one, fish with scales. We don't eat the fish without the scales. There's others about the way they chew their food, the way they sit down. They put their back legs first and then the front legs. There's a whole list of rules.
Exactly.
Inshallah, when we have more time, we can actually grab it and discuss it. Sheikh, your favorite question from YouTube: what about tatbir? Is it permissible?
I mean, ulama, if you go back since Ayatollah Na'ini, 78 years ago, the Ustad of the ulama, they've allowed it. Some said it's mustahab to be performed because it is one of the signs of the sha'ar of Hussein alayhi salam. As we have,
it's an established sign.
As we have the Arba'in walk, as we have the cooking, for example, for the purpose of the tabarruk, the ziyarah of the niyaz of the majlis, as we have the latum beatings. This is one of it. And that's, of course, the peak of it on the day of Ashura morning.
Yeah.
The peak of the azadari.
His Eminence Sayyid Sadiq Shirazi,
yes,
what does he say?
Mustahab and permissible, yes.
Mustahab and permissible, inshallah. From WhatsApp, is it halal in Islam to select a gender in IVR? Good question. Sheikh, are you familiar with IVR?
Not exactly.
IVR, I think, is, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's to do with artificial insemination. So they'll get the sperm and the egg and fuse it together in a host, but they won't put it in the. I'm not sure if they put it in somebody else or so forth. Anyway, they're saying here that if you have the opportunity to choose the gender, I remember they were talking about this a couple of years back. This is when I was at university. They were discussing that in the future you'll be able to choose your child's gender, the color of their hair, the color of their eyes. You can like genetically modify the child before it's even born and so forth. So here is saying that, look, is it halal in Islam to select a gender in IVR?
I think we have to refer to the ulama, so they have to present the research and the report, so we can forward it to ulama to see what they say. It's like the Bitcoin transaction that some disagreed. They said it's forbidden, some said no, it's allowed.
Yeah.
So these are new technologies used for trading or any other purposes.
We'll come back to that question. We'll try and answer that one next week. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna and Sayyid. Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Is it permissible to play PUBG on the mobile and other games according to Ayatollah Sistani?
I think Ayatollah had something to do with regards to the PUBG
Really?
game. Yes.
He mentioned it.
I think yes. What
did he say?
I think he said not to play it or something. I can't remember exactly. That was a couple of years ago when it was the game was on its peak in terms of
it was very
Iraq
famous. Everyone was playing.
it exactly
And
for hours and hours.
Wow.
So he had something, I can't remember exactly his fatwa. Yeah.
MashaAllah, PUBG. From YouTube, is it possible for Uthman, Omar and Aisha to be forgiven and go to Jannah? Is there a position on this?
We need evidence for that. If there's evidence, then we can discuss.
So Sheikhna, the enemies of Allah and the enemies of the Ahlul Bayt, there's no chance for them to repent. There's no second chance for them. They're deemed for hell.
The repentance should be in dunya before they pass away. Before they see Malakul Maut, the angel of death. If they see an angel of death, it's finished. That's it. The doors will be closed for the tawbah. So it seems to be they passed away without repentance. Yes.
From YouTube, will animals be in Jannah? Are they considered mu'min, Muslim, etc.? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that they have their own tasbih in communities, know their Lord and their Lord cares for them, etc.
Yeah, the tasbih is in dunya, of course. Everything does the tasbih, even the animals. But
even I heard the stones and the rocks even do tasbih.
Yeah.
Does dhikr of La ilaha illallah.
Exactly. I mean, we have it in Surah Al-Takwir, وَإِذَا الْوُحُوشُ حُشِرَتْ, that the animals would be resurrected on the day of judgment. And that's because of any, let's say, oppression made by one of the animals. You know, let's say an animal killed another animal without any reason.
Yeah.
So he would take the revenge on that, and then go back to they become as a part of the land of the Qiyamah.
So they have
soil.
They have hisab as well.
Some kind of hisab. Yeah, the Quran says وَإِذَا الْوُحُوشُ حُشِرَتْ. Yeah.
Wow. From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh and Sayyid. Alaikum salam. Why does the Quran say we? I think this is when it comes to when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about himself, nahnu. The dhamir nahnu.
إِنَّا أَنزَلْنَاهُ فِي لَيْلَةِ الْقَدْرِ.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, many interpretations mentioned by some ulama that one of the interpretations that means that Allah wants to glorify His act or to يعني تعظيم, as they say in Arabic, to glorify. Second interpretation is that when He says we, then is Allah Azza wa Jal delegates the malaika, the angels, to do the job. So it wasn't Himself only. So the Quran was revealed on the Prophet on Laylatul Qadr, for example.
Fair.
So it depends on the interpretations.
From YouTube, is it haram to lie to a company to lower insurance premium?
It's not permissible, and if one do so, then he's liable for that. If accidents were made, for example, and so forth, he's liable on the day of judgment. Because these are mainly private companies with this regard.
Fair. From WhatsApp, is it haram to have a share in a company if they have a branch which creates alcohol? So the main company may not have, the main company may not make alcohol, but they own that company owns a small company that owns makes alcohol.
What is important that he doesn't get profit from the selling of alcohol. That's the issue. If you don't get share, let's say 2% from selling alcohol.
Yeah.
because the buying or selling alcohol is not allowed, not permissible. So you can't receive any dividends, let's say, shares from selling the alcohol. That's important.
Okay, fantastic. Sheikh, now we're going to go to a short break. Now is the best time for you guys to send in your questions. If you have a question you'd like to ask on any topic whatsoever in regards to Islamic law, please send it in now. You can send it via the WhatsApp. The number's there below. You can scan the QR code, which is right there in the corner. Or you can put it in your YouTube comments or your Facebook Live comments on social media. Or you can give us a call 0203-515-0199. Join us after the break, inshallah, where we can continue our discussions here on Ahkam SOS.
I have a question regarding keeping pictures of
Is it
scholars
permissible
at
to
home.
plant trees by or
Was
over
Islam
the
established based on peace and
Is it
non-violence?
permissible to collect donations for charity projects from
Is it permitted to consume canned food imported from non-Muslim
Is there
countries?
an issue for men looking at non-Muslim women?
To have your questions answered live, WhatsApp us on +44 7415 092155.
For those interested in an Islamic law book by Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq Al-Shirazi, please WhatsApp the Ahkam SOS team at the following number to place your order today: +44 7415 092155. The Islamic law book, available exclusively in hard copy, contains religious questions answered by Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq Al-Shirazi. Order your hard copy today.
Yes, you can order your hardback copy of Islamic Law by His Eminence the Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq Shirazi, which discusses many different aspects of life in terms of Islamic law. So we have like fasting and praying and Hajj and Tahara, but we also have like Islamic finances, living and promoting the religion of Islam in the West, where there's a nice beautiful section on Muharram and Ashura and the fiqh and your rights and your taklif and what you're supposed to do during those months and so forth. It's a very good read. Just message us and inshallah we'll be able to organize a copy for yourself. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Assalamu alaikum.
Question here from YouTube. Why Allah says, we did that one. Sheikh from YouTube. Why is Ibrahim alayhi salam spelled two different ways in the Quran? One as Ibrahim and the other as Ibrahim.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I'm not sure about. I have to see the both verses. But it's Ibrahim ala kulli hal. It's a main famous
name. If it's
name.
Ibrahim, maybe there's a mud on it, and that will be because of the tajweed and how to recite to extend on the name. It won't be actually to do with the spelling. It will be more to do with the recitation. From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Can I eat in a vegetarian restaurant owned by a Hindu or eat vegetarian food at my Hindu friend's house?
If they touch the food, the vegetables, the salad with their wet hands, moist hands, then of course it will be impure. Then you have to avoid it.
So you have to confirm that they've touched the food with their wet hands.
You have to avoid it. Yeah.
Then you have to avoid it.
Yeah.
If you can't confirm, if I didn't get to go to the kitchen, I didn't see it, the food they served me, I didn't see how they made it or anything like that. Okay?
The rule is كل شيء لك طاهر. Everything is pure unless you're certain that it's impure. So it's the opposite.
Fair. From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Can a person who memorizes all the Quran ask Allah to take anyone to paradise with him? Hafidh al-Quran. Sheikhna, I've heard about this as well. Not just the Hafidh of Quran, but they say many people will be entered into Jannah, but they can also bring people with them. Or they'll ask, can I bring my mother and father with me? Can I bring my brother, my sister, and so forth, my wife, my children? Is this true? Some people would have the ability to bring others into Jannah with them.
I mean, the shafa'a mentioned in the Holy Quran is bi'idhnillah, by Allah's permission. So we'll have to see in the Day of Judgment that if He gives the permission due to your piety, your grade, your level of taqwa, iman, how much you gave for the good cause. Depends. And the shafa'a is in the hand of Allah Azza wa Jal. Illa bi'idhnih.
And something about Fatima Zahra salam alayha on her when she comes through on that day, that she will ask for shifa.
Of course, she is the best of the women of the world, and she is infallible, part of the Panch Tampak, Ashab al-Kisa. You can't compare it with any other one else.
From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Why is masturbation haram? And if it is haram, someone commits 1 or 2 times a week. Pakistani law doesn't allow us to marry below the age of 18. We are trapped. Help us, Qibla, any nasihat.
Initially, the rules of today's man-made rules is all invalid and batil, and we don't accept it. They have to allow for early marriage to avoid these kind of sins in which have bodily effects for the long term. As proved that this type of act would cause lots of issues mentally even in the future, and it's forbidden as well in the Sharia, because that only is allowed through the opposite gender who is halal to you, who becomes your wife as a short or long-term wife. So one should find out a way in which they can somehow get married without, because it becomes wajib on this individual. If he's committing sin, read the ulama's fatwa that you have to get married in this case. If you're committing a sin, be it masturbation or even adultery, zina.
Fornication. From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. Ya Sheikh and Sayyid, we are here to help. Are there any maraja that believe in tahrif of the Quran? If so, does this take them out of the fold of Islam? Sheikh, does it actually matter if a marja believes in tahrif of the Quran or not? Because we don't follow our maraja in terms of aqaid, we follow him in fiqh. But let's change the question and say that are there any scholars who believe in the tahrif of Quran? And if they do believe in tahrif, are they out of the fold of Islam?
I haven't come across anyone who believes in this issue. Maybe there's one or two in the past history, hundreds of years ago, and that's their own opinion in terms of their findings, as we have in the Ahl Sunnah as well. Some ulama, they have the issue of tahrif as well in their works. You'll see in some of the Sahih about, a specific surah was longer than
the Surah Baqarah.
Exactly, Baqarah or Asra.
And a sheep came and ate it or something.
I think chickens came and ate the rest of the verses. So the tahrif is on the other side as well. So it doesn't mean that we believe in it or we accept it.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Why don't the Shia practice ruqya? I have seen with my eyes the effect of it. Is there any du'as by Ahlul Bayt against jinns and black magic? First of all, we mentioned this a lot. We Shia, we don't believe that jinn can possess a person's body and so forth. And also, we think that the stories of jinn and the stories of black magic being done on people are slightly exaggerated. And 9 times out of 10 there's no jinn or black magic being done. It's more of a psychological issue, or maybe someone's pranking you. But Sheikhna, for those who feel that black magic has been done on them or something, is there anything they can recite?
Yes, we have different types of ta'weez, as you say.
In Pakistan, yeah, ta'weez.
One of them is Hazrat Imam Jawad alayhi salam, the dua written on the reindeer skin, for example. There's lots of supplications in the books of Mafatih al-Janan, Iddatul Da'i, other books of the works of the ulama. We've collected and compiled the Imams alayhi salam's du'as and supplications with these regards. Different types of, even about the jinn and so forth.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Can a sister do taqiyya with her husband because he is Sunni and she is Shia? She lives in France and it's not easy to find a Shia man. Barakallahu fikum, Sheikh.
I mean, if she can, for example, not to pray in front of him. Let's say he's at work, she can pray easily the Dhuhr and Asr Salah without him noticing, for example. Try to avoid being seen by the husband when she does the Salah in the Shia way, for example, or the wudu in the Shia way.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Is there any distinction between Bashir and Bashar and Insan? Could one be Homo sapien and the other being Homo hominid, such as Homo erectus? And I have to apologize, Sheikh, because these words probably you don't understand them. I do because I have a science background, so he's referring to the species and the genus of these. To be fair, I can't answer this with my biomedical background. Sheikh, do you think you could answer it?
We have in Arabic language names which are parallel, in other words. So you have for example, Asad, lion, and you have Layth, also means lion.
I think Abbas can also mean lion as well.
So these are, as this is the parallel or similar,
synonyms.
Synonyms, ahsant, as a result. So it's almost the same, but each, when you take it out of its context, has its own meaning. So Bashar means different meaning than the insan in Arabic language. Bashar from the bashara, from the face posture, for example. Insan is the one, who's been created. So you have to look at separately in the dictionary of Arabic that what Bashar means. But then, as a conclusion, as a findings, the result is the same. Bashar is the insan, the same. Layth is lion, and Asad is lion as well.
Yeah, nice. From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. I had put some amount of money into a sadaqah box, but not been able to give to the right people. The sadaqah box is still at home for the past 2 years or so. Can I use it, or it has to be given?
I mean, depends who you follow. Some would say if you put inside the sadaqah box, then that's the sadaqah. Yeah. Some would say no, unless it reaches the poor, then if it reaches the hand of the poor, then that's it. It's gone. So it depends who you follow. And then don't forget, such money that you haven't paid for the past 2 years to the faqir, then there could be khumus also applied on this money. It depends, I mean, again, who you follow.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna and Sayyid, alaikum salam. Is the sweat hand from a Hindu najis? So if I have a Hindu friend, Sheikhna, we've been playing football, basketball, cricket. That's what we normally play in the summertime. And we finished our game now. We do a little high five. Obviously, we're sweating and so forth. We've done the high five, good game. Is my hand najis now?
Yes, indeed. One should purify it.
How?
Washing? Under the water.
Just wash under
running water.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Can I write a letter to Imam Zaman for my needs?
Yes, indeed we have Arida or Al-Haja. We have, if you go back to Fatih Jannah and other books, Fatihiyah, they mention how to write it. The way it's, and then you mentioned Al-Haja in the middle of the dua of the Arida, and you throw it inside a lake or a well, and then you call one of the Imam's Naib, like Hussein ibn Ruh, for example. Yeah. There's a detailed, if you go back to the Kutub, as they mentioned like exactly how to write the Arida to the Imam alayhi salam.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. I am a Muslim Shia in the USA. Can I marry in the courthouse?
So what's a courthouse, sorry?
I guess that's their like, you know how you have registration here in the UK? When you go to the town hall and you do it.
I mean, you can do so for the purpose of the paperworks and to be a legal couple married legally. But that wouldn't make it halal to your wife or husband and the vice versa, unless you do it in the Shari'i way. You have to go to Maulana or somebody, or if you know the conditions of how to make it by yourself. So she said to you, زوجتك نفسي, and you said قبلته. If that condition is met, then that you'll be halal to each other. Otherwise, you can't just do it in the court.
From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Is eating prawns halal or haram?
Yes, indeed. One of the exceptions for the seafood is to be able to, or permissible to consume and eat prawns, and not crabs or lobster or squid.
From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. There's a famous Sheikh on YouTube that says that the mu'min is afzal from the Sayyid. What is your opinion?
So who is the mu'min? Who is afdal than the Sayyid? We have to differentiate.
I mean, well, Sheikh, we do have Sadat that are not Shia. So one who is not from, the Bani Hashim, who has the wilayah of Amir al-Mu'mineen, does that person have a higher status than the Sada who doesn't have the wilayah of Amir al-Mu'mineen?
The Holy Quran states, إِنَّ أَكْرَمَكُمْ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ أَتْقَاكُمْ. The one who has piety, more piety than the others, he would be blessed by Allah Azza wa Jal. Will be given the mercy and blessings. Taqwa is very important, and the taqwa means to implement the obligatory acts and to prevent the evil acts. So between wajib and haram, you have to observe it. And of course, you have to be follower of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. Kitab Allah wa itrat Ahlul Bayti. You follow the book of Allah and Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. That's the key for being a true mu'min.
Fair. From YouTube, go to Karbala, substitute, go to Mecca. Okay. Going to Karbala, does that substitute going to Mecca?
If you haven't been to Mecca at all, and you haven't done Hajjatul Islam, the first wajib Hajj, no, you have to go to Mecca first. I mean,
if you can.
If you have capability and istata'a, man istata'a ilayhi sabila, then it's wajib for you to go to Hajj, to Mecca, perform all the a'mal. Afterwards, then of course, you're free to go to Karbala or back for Umrah. It's up to you. Of course, the thawab for the Karbala is exceptional, of course.
From YouTube, can other sects such as Sunni or Quran-centric Muslims who don't insult the Shia or Ahlul Bayt still go to Jannah if they genuinely believe that they were on the right path? Jazakallah khairun.
I mean, the Holy Prophet mentioned this hadith many times and recorded many of the books of the Shia and the non-Shia, that he left two weighty things about the Book of Allah and his family. It means you have to follow these two infallible beings, the Book of Allah and his family. Without following those two, the creation of Allah Azza wa Jal, the Book of Allah and Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, there's no way for one to reach paradise. That's a condition. Inna ad-din 'inda Allah al-Islam. Islam means to follow the Holy Quran and Muhammad wa Muhammad. Unless one is ignorant, is qasir, of course he will be tested on the Day of Judgment, and then inshallah can reach the paradise.
From I think it's from WhatsApp. Can I do haram while in taqiyya, example, forced to drink alcohol, to prove I'm not Muslim out of fear of persecution?
I mean, taqiyya has its own conditions. I mean, it could be forbidden, could be wajib, it could be musta'ab. It depends. Ahkam al-khamsa. You have to see your condition. How severe is your situation?
Final question for this evening, Sheikh. Now that is, Assalamu alaikum from WhatsApp. Is Sayyidah Khadija part of the Ahlul Bayt?
Ahlul Bayt, Salamullah, or 14 infallibles.
Ahlul Bayt.
Yeah, Muhammad, Ali, Fatima, Hassan, and Hussein, alayhim as-salam, all to Imam Mahdi, Ajjallahu Farajahu Sharif. Only those 14 are the top of the best of the creations of Allah Azza wa Jal. وَيُطَهِّرَكُمْ تَطْهِيرًا. The eye is only for those 14.
MashaAllah. Sheikhna, thank you so much for all of your efforts and all the time that you spend. Sheikhna, you don't understand, there's a lot of research in regards to these questions and so forth, and puts in a lot of time. And thank you to all of you for joining us on this episode of Ahkam SOS. Myself and the Sheikh will be back, inshallah, Monday, 7 p.m. here on Imam Hussein TV3. If you have a question you'd like to ask, please send it in via the WhatsApp. You can get the numbers there. You can scan the QR code. Those questions will be taken on for Monday's episode, inshallah. We apologize if we didn't answer your question. We had a lot of questions today. However, we'll be back on Monday, 7 p.m. here on Imam Hussein TV3. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
When I call people that I met, let's say 5 years ago in Karbala during work, I call them 5 years on. I'm like, Assalamu alaikum, it's Murtada. They're like, which Murtada? I'm like, the one of Whitehead. The Husseiniya played a massive role for me, for all the other shabab, all the other kids who grew up with me.
Yeah.
I think without the Husseiniya, and none of us would be where we are now. A majority of the shabab went and done Akbar Foundation.
Yep.
And majority of them went, for instance, a lot of us went to Imam Hussein TV.
Yep.
And Mullah Ali Fadl, shout him, he went to Haraka with yourself and so on.
Yeah.
When someone does something and I don't like it,
you just tell them it's rubbish.
I tell them it's rubbish. That's not how you talk to people. I'm like, but then they're not gonna care. If I say it's nice, they go, yeah, it's nice, then just feel more.
I'm hoping after this interview, you don't see him in the parking lot and Imam Hussein TV like, how'd you hate that? Was rubbish. If you know the words, by the way.
I'm not a singing person.
One thing you haven't done this whole journey, and I'm sure the brothers and sisters, they want to hear you say something at least and sing something, because I know you have a nice voice.
More than 3,000 members of the Shia Hazara community have been killed since September 2011, according to reports.
Hundreds of Iraqi pilgrims arrive at the house of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi.
On Saturday, the Saudi authorities executed 21 people on other charges.
Taliban abusing humanitarian aid in Afghanistan.
Shia Rights Watch expresses its condemnation on the targeted bombings in the Iraqi capital Baghdad.
There is so much happening that now is the right moment to bring together the biggest stories in one place at one time. It's ambitious, it's a first for the Shia around the world. Join me, Ayoub Nueno, for Shia Waves, live only on Imam Hussein TV free.
Ali and her 3 children live in this, I could literally say, 3 by 2 meter room. It is morning, afternoons, evenings, her day off, when she goes to work, when she cleans, when she cooks, when she changes the kids, everything takes place in this room.
والله شو أقول لك بحياتي؟ حياتي أول واحدة تعبانة وأنا لي 5 سنوات أنا متطلقت. ها؟ بعد هذا ابني بالمهادة من انفصلت. ظليت عشي تشتغل بالغواطي حتى يدري بي أبان دائما أشتغل دواير.
Ali, a young age, he had asthma, and Ali says that she would buy the medication before, but now she cannot afford it. So she only leaves it to emergency cases where he'll be hospitalized. Ali has very little. However, she has a lot of faith. She's still a strong believer, and she has hope. Let's work together, where your donations will give a lot of hope to Ali, where she can provide for her young Ali, to have medication for him, ensure that these girls will have the right education, and ensure that she can provide for her mum, stay longer hours with her mum, which is physically disabled.
Make your impact today. Elevate the lives of your brothers and sisters. Donate now.
In a world filled with noise, there's a journey that speaks volumes. Welcome to the Arba'een pilgrimage, an experience that transcends time, connecting hearts across generations. At the heart of this journey lies the essence of Arba'een, a testament to unity, resilience and devotion. And with Imam Hussein tours, you'll not only witness, but immerse yourself in this profound journey of faith. Join us as we traverse through the sacred sites of Najaf, Karbala, Kufa, Samarra and Kadhimiyyah, each a chapter in the rich tapestry of Islamic heritage, from the hallowed grounds where legends were slain to the tranquil shrines that echo with centuries of sacrifice. Every step will be a revelation. But this isn't just a journey of sightseeing, it's a voyage of the soul. Alongside fellow pilgrims, you'll experience the true meaning of community, sharing in rituals that have endured for centuries. Join Sayyid Muhammad Hassan al-Shara, Sayyid Muhsin Shah, Brother Minhal al-Khafaji, Brother Muhammad Baqir Gori, Brother Abu Talib Muhammad from August the 18th, 2024 to August the 31st, 2024 on a trip not just worth taking, but worth cherishing for a lifetime. Let us show you the essence of Arba'een, where faith knows no boundaries and love knows no limits. Contact us today and embark on a pilgrimage that will stay etched in your heart forever. Book your place now and become a part of something truly extraordinary. Imam Hussein Tours, your transit to the Ark of Salvation.
With more and more victims of war and poverty, the Middle East has seen a surge in patients seeking medical aid. Iraq alone has 2.4 million people without access to any form of medical assistance. In Afghanistan, due to the lack of funding and devastating conflict, the health service is at breaking point. Imam Hussein Charity aims to help provide a better future for these impoverished patients, aiding them with finances for their prescriptions as well as dialysis of their kidneys. You can help our brothers and sisters with purchases of prescriptions for just £20, and for £200 help a patient with a dialysis procedure. To donate or for more information, visit www.imamhusseincharity.com.
Allahumma ma'bud, oh Allah, Khuda, Khuda, Khudaya. Allahumma أدخل على أهل القبور السرور.
हे माबूद हर मोहताज को गनी बना दे.
Oh Allah, please feed all the hungry ones. خدایا هر برهنه را لباس پوشان. اللهم اقضي دين كل مدين.
اے معبود ہر مصیبت زدہ کو